What's up, everyone? It's your boy back with another Switch list. Survival games on Nintendo systems hit different because you can grind a base on the TV, then keep going in handheld like it's nothing. And with Switch 2 getting heavier ports and smoother upgrades, this genre is about to eat good. I picked 10 survival games that either already feel great on Switch or look like perfect fits for Switch 2. Let's get into it. Tokyo Scramble is the kind of survival game I love showing friends because it turns panic into teamwork fast. You wake up after a subway disaster, stuck underground, and the place is crawling with dinosaur-looking monsters. The cool hook is your smartwatch. One moment you're scanning routes and solving little puzzles, the next you are baiting creatures with noise and sprinting for your life. On Switch 2, the game share feature makes it even funnier because two people can split control and chaos happens instantly. It is still tense, but in a good streaming way. If you like games where every small decision matters, this one hits that sweet spot between brainy puzzles and pure survival pressure. I also appreciate how it uses tight spaces, light, and sound to make exploration feel risky, not just like walking forward alone. Subnautica is still my favorite you are never safe survival vibe, and the Switch 2 edition is the excuse to dive back in. You crash on an alien ocean world and everything you need is below the surface. Early on you were grabbing scraps and crafting oxygen tanks, but soon you are building a real base with power, storage, and vehicles. What makes it special is the fear of the deep. The game does not rely on jump scares, it relies on silence, distance, and those huge shapes moving in the fog. The Switch 2 upgrade is all about smoother performance and sharper visuals, which matters a lot underwater. If you like exploring, crafting, and slowly getting braver, this is a must. I recommend playing with headphones because hearing a distant roar through water is terrifying and amazing at night. Valheim is my cozy until it is not survival game. You get dropped into a Viking afterlife, start with basically nothing, and then you build your way into a legend. The loop is perfect. Chop wood, cook meat, craft gear, then sail into a biome that absolutely wants you gone. I love how building matters here. A simple hut becomes a longhouse, then a fortress, and suddenly you are hosting friends and planning boss fights. On Switch 2, it finally makes sense because smoother performance helps when your base gets huge and the weather turns wild. If you want survival with exploration, progression, and that one more day feeling, Valheim is dangerously addictive. The sailing trips are my favorite. Storms, sea serpents, and that moment you spot a new shoreline and realize you forgot to bring arrows for the bow. Ark is the ultimate dinosaur survival sandbox, and yes, it can be a little messy, but nothing else feels like it. You wake up on a strange island, punch trees, and 5 minutes later, a raptor is chasing you into the ocean. The fun is in the long-term goals, taming creatures, breeding them, and turning a beach shack into a metal base with defenses. Ark Survival Ascended is the newer, prettier version, and it is being worked on for Switch 2, so I am keeping my eyes on it. Even if you stick to Ark Survival Evolved on Switch, the core magic is the same. Play with friends if you can, because tribe life is half the story. Just be ready to lose everything sometimes. Ark loves surprises, but that also makes every comeback feel earned in the end. No Man's Sky is survival for people who get bored staying on one map. You start with a busted ship and a suit that is always low on something. Oxygen, heat protection, fuel. The early hours are classic survival. Mine rocks, fix gear, and hide from toxic storms. Then it opens up into a galaxy-sized road trip. You can build bases, run a settlement, and even collect strange creatures like space pets. The Switch version keeps getting big updates, and it is wild seeing a handheld handle all that scale. What I love is how relaxing it can be. Some nights I just hop planet to planet, scan weird plants, and cash in discoveries. If you want survival with exploration and zero limits, this is it. It is co-op because building a base makes the universe feel yours. Palworld is the survival crafting game that blew up because it mixes creature collecting with base building and real danger. You are gathering resources, cooking, and crafting guns, but you are also rescuing and recruiting pals that can fight, work, and help automate your whole camp. It is a weird combo, yet it works, because survival gets easier the smarter your base becomes. Right now, it is not on Switch, and it's probably too heavy for the original hardware, but the devs have openly said a Switch 2 version is worth considering if the console is strong enough. So I am treating this as a watchlist pick. If it lands, co-op Palworld on a handheld could be a time sink. Until then, it is still fun to follow updates because new pals and systems keep changing the meta. Core Keeper is like if Terraria and Stardew had a baby underground. You wake up in a huge cave and your first job is simple: mine, craft, and do not get eaten. Then you find the core and the game becomes this steady push outward into new biomes with scarier monsters and better loot. The Switch 2 edition is perfect for it because the game is all about smooth movement, quick inventory management, and co-op sessions that can stretch for hours. I love the mix of combat and chill farming. One minute you are dodging a boss, the next you are planting crops, cooking meals, and wiring up machines. If you want survival that feels comforting but still has big fights, Core Keeper nails it. It is great solo because the lighting and music make the caves feel mysterious. Reanimal is one of my most wanted creepy survival games for Switch 2. It comes from the Little Nightmares team, and you can feel that same unsettling vibe in every screenshot. You play as two siblings trying to survive and rescue friends on a nightmare island, and the big draw is co-op. This is not power fantasy horror, it is the vulnerable kind, where hiding, running, and working together matters more than fighting. I love survival games that make you use the environment, and Reanimal looks built for that, slipping through tight spaces, distracting monsters, and making snap decisions under pressure. If you and a buddy want something darker than the usual crafting grind, keep this one on your radar. I have a feeling it will be a streamer favorite, especially if the Switch 2 audio is strong too. The Long Dark is pure survival in the cold. No zombies, no aliens, just you versus winter. After a geomagnetic disaster, you are stuck in the Canadian wilderness, and every choice is a trade. Do you burn your last matches now, or save them and risk freezing later? The game shines because the systems are simple but brutal. Hunger, thirst, fatigue, and temperature constantly fight you. I love how quiet it is. You can walk for minutes hearing only wind. Then you spot a wolf, and your whole plan changes. On Switch, it is a great couch survival game, and it keeps getting updates and story content. If you want a slow, thoughtful survival experience that feels real, this is it. My tip is to learn landmarks early, because getting lost in Blizzard is the way to lose your run. Grounded takes the classic Honey, I Shrunk the Kids idea and turns it into one of the best co-op survival games on Nintendo hardware. You are tiny in a backyard, so a blade of grass feels like a tree and a spider feels like a boss fight. The survival basics are here: food, water, crafting, base building, but the real fun is the exploration. You are climbing juice boxes, diving into ant tunnels, and fighting bugs with improvised armor. I like how the tone stays light even when the danger spikes. On Switch, it is an easy pick-up and play survival game, and it runs great in handheld for short sessions. If you want something family-friendly that still has depth, Grounded is a total win. I always recommend turning on arachnophobia options if spiders ruin your day. Alright, that's my top 10 survival picks for Switch and Switch 2. Tell me which one you are playing right now, and which one you want me to cover in a full video next. If you enjoyed this list, drop a like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.